Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars and the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Aggression in their voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. Live and loud, that break in the mind. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploded like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, their foes can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning, man. Internet's been crazy last couple days, man. The way the intro kind of played and didn't play, and then interesting. Good morning. We got Ken, we got Joe, we have Fred. I'm actually alive and here this morning. The internet is acting weird on X and at StreamYard, and it seems like the NFL wants us all to think they've quit because nothing's going on.
Oh, there is something going on. We had some major news come out of Green Bay yesterday.
What was that?
That Rich Bisaccia, that fucking special teams coordinator that a whole bunch of people had issues with, just stepped down last night.
Okay.
That, yeah, we got him fucking gone, which a lot of people fucking wanted, but the timing of it is absolutely fucking terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's still one of those moves you're like, yeah, okay. I mean, I'm tired. I mean, I guess because I'm getting, we've had all the big coaching moves, and now we're getting the supplemental moves. And, the problem is, unless it's like Tobin, it's like no one cares for special teams coaches. Like, the next guy they name, everyone's going to be like this. Who? Well, I guess we'll see how he does. I mean, am I wrong?
With it being at this point in time, no, you're not. If we could have got it before, maybe we could have got somebody else. Now, granted, I'm not up on special teams fucking coordinators to say, oh, this is the exact guy I want. I got to hear from candidates with it.
With that coaching slot, it's kind of like getting the running backs coach. People are like, who? I mean, last year when Eric Bieniemy was the running backs coach for the Bears, is the first time people were like, ooh, okay. And, of course, one season and gone. But it's like getting the tight ends coach named. And people are like, who? More times than not. I mean, it's the same thing with a special teams coordinator. Everyone's like, who? And then, 10 years later, we need to fire this guy. He's been here for 3 coaches, and our special teams are terrible because they just get the leftovers to work with. Okay. He's like one of those moves, like, I don't know, this stuff now, the NFL offseason where it's just like, oh.
Now Green Bay fans are going to find out whether it's a team issue with special teams or if it was a coordinator issue.
I would say 99% of the time, it is. Because, look, there's no secret sauce coaching.
Wait. Weren't you the guy that said coaching matters? Coaching matters there, too.
Well, no, it does in terms of scheme, but what's your scheme in special teams? It's pretty straightforward. There's only one thing you can really do. I mean,
kick off left, kick off right.
Right. I mean, ball placement with the kicker is about it. And that comes down to the kicker you have signed, which he does get some input on. But, I mean, minus that, it's not like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's probably the least impact. I mean, it's weird. It's a weird coaching position. It's super impactful, yet the most least impactful, it seems, of the big 3, right? I mean, they're not as important as the offensive or defensive coordinator, not as important as the head coach. Good ones are hard to find, and the variance that they can provide is slim to none because the only thing they have control on is the place kicker, the punter, and the long snapper.
Well, and the punt coverage units, of the
No,
design of the coverage.
no, they don't. They get the leftovers from the offensive and the defensive coordinator.
The players. I'm talking about the coverage scheme itself for it.
The coverage scheme is there
It-
isn't much you can do.
Oh, there is a little bit because not this past year, but the year before when you guys had that fake punt, they were constantly talking about how terrible that coverage for it was in scheme wise.
Yeah, but that coverage comes down to being terrible because you have the players who can't execute it. Right? I mean, they're all running the same coverage. Every
It's like-
coordinator is running the same coverage. It's just how good are my players to actually execute it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like you could have Bill Belichick 3-4 defense out there, but if you don't have the players to do it, like it doesn't matter, right?
Best example, Mike Martz when he came to coach the offense for Chicago under Lovie Smith, the architect of the greatest show on turf. Fortunately for Jay Cutler is that offense required a lot of 7-step drops, and they had no offensive line. So by the time he got to step 2.5, 3, he was on his ass already. So, I mean, coaching matters, yeah, but in terms of that coordinator position, you're getting the leftovers. So your gunners, your team guys, you're getting what you get. Very rarely do they get to say, "Hey, I want Ken on this roster as a special teamer," right? That very rarely happens. It does happen. You do get some guys who make rosters specifically just to be special teamers, as a gunner or something, or a return guy is usually that. But even that is usually not a decision made solely by that coordinator. Ryan Poles goes out and signs Duvernay. Guess what, Hightower? There's your returner. Deal with it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's kind of big news because if you want him gone, you're happy. But when they hire the new guy, it's going to be who? Everyone asks about this guy. Oh, well, he was here and it was good. And look, defensive coordinator or special teams coordinator is such a unique position. Look at Hightower in Chicago. He's been here for 3 head coaches. And there have been times that the Bears offensive or Bears special teams have been phenomenal. And there have been times it's been complete dog shit. Same coach, but different player personnel groups every time. Yeah.
I definitely think players matter when it comes to special teams. I definitely think they do, but I also think that it's bullshit that head coaches won't allow some of their better players to play special teams.
I can understand like your superstars that you don't want to take the risk of them getting injured, but you can have some of the big contributors contribute on special teams too.
Well, no, they can. Brian Urlacher used to be on special teams with the Bears. Look at the 06 team. A lot of that defense also played special teams. Right? Back then, it's funny because like when Devin Hester was running that stuff back, man, they had like a lot of their starters in the special teams group. Why that helped Devin Hester immensely. It is funny how like Travis Homer is not a good running back for the Bears, it seems, but he's really good on the special teams. He hits people like hard. So, but is Travis Homer going to be kept on this Bears roster just because he's decent at coverage on special teams?
Maybe.
I was gonna say that's where you get your successful special teams that are perennially successful is they allow some of the guys to stick around just because of that. Like I don't remember the name of the special teams coordinator, but the guy that we had at the start of Rodgers' starting career, we used to keep Jared Bush around just for the whole fact of that guy was outstanding on special teams. On defense, he was and that was at best. But we kept him because he was a special teams guy. I want to start to see more of that shit going on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's rare, but it's also when they don't keep that guy, and then the special teams isn't as good, who do we
It
blame?
sticks out like a sore thumb.
Oh, the special teams coordinator is doing a terrible job. No, he's not. He's working with what crap the head coach and the other two coordinators gave him.
I also think that not enough coaches put enough emphasis into special teams to where like they go out and they look for specifically guys that are good special teamers to put on their roster. You know, it's like they kind of just like, because you have your first and second string on offense and your first and second string on defense, plus
Right.
your kicker and your punter. That's 46 guys right there, right? So
And your long snapper.
and your long snapper. So that's 47. So like, you know, you really should be using those other 5 guys. They should be just special teamers. Like,
Well, 48 is normally going to be your returner because that is one. That's the fourth guy that they sometimes get just because. So, like last year, the Bears signed Duvernay just to be a returner, and he did play receiver a little bit, had a couple catches, 1 or 2 of them timely and big. But so the Bears did do a little bit of that, Joe, but maybe not to the extent you were saying. But basically, they had 4 guys that were on that team just for their special teams, right? Your 2 kickers, your long snapper, and your return guy, your main return guy. Sometimes is like that now. So now maybe, okay, they get 4. Travis Homer probably makes the roster last year because, okay, he's going to be running back 4. We're going to carry 4 running backs, but we're keeping him versus Wheeler. Wheeler's probably a better running back, but Homer was better on special teams. So maybe that's how Homer makes the roster last year, right? So there was a little bit of that with Chicago in some respect. I think every team gets that with some respect, but sometimes, like, dude, you're a second string offensive or defense guy. Like, look at your second string inside linebacker might never see the field normally, or maybe sees it out of 30 or 40 defensive snaps, 5 to 10 snaps. Better, so if I have let's say between Joe and Ken, and I know that, but Ken's the better special teamers. Personally, I'm like keeping Ken. I'm giving my special teams the better player because he's going to see the be more important there than you are for 5 to 10 snaps possibly during a game, especially if it's close. If it's like 1A, 1B kind of situation, I keep the special teamer.
That's why I loved when we had Desmond Bishop there, because he was that guy that he was the backup for Nick Barnett, but he was a fucking special teams ace. And that allowed him to develop more into the defense to where he played damn good for us before he was injured.
And some guys go to special teams and because they're doing practice, they develop into that first or second tier starter or backup. We've seen guys do that in their career. Also, the thing about special teams is, okay, guys, we're going to have practice today. We're going to be out there for 8 hours practicing, 6.5 hours in practice. All right, 30 minutes for special teams. Go. They get the least amount of practice time as a unit. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, special teams coaches, for me, it's always a quagmire. But you know what's ironic? How many times have we seen special team coordinators become head coaches? A lot. Because they're usually...
I can think of a few, but not too many. I can think of Ron Rivera and Harbaugh. That's the only 2 that are coming to mind.
Rich Bisaccia was an interim head coach for the Raiders.
Yeah,
well, that's interim.
Yeah, but a lot of them are the like the Bears when we did it, we went with the interim OC. But I mean, it's funny because special teams coaches are usually some of the smartest guys on the team because they know every player of the team. Unlike your OC or your DC. So if you need an interim guy, that's your guy.
Oh, yeah, for interim, I have no issue with it. It's just I can't think of a special teams coordinator besides just those couple that they were actually hired as the head coach.
Damn, Fred. Fred's been taking that shot all day today.
Dobbs kind of deserves it for dropping that ball, though.
Yeah, he does.
Thank you, Joe.
He made the same mistake. And it was funny, like the mistake he made. It's common. Even your best wide receivers in the league make this mistake. He took his eye off the ball to see what was coming.
And it's even though it wasn't against the Niners, it's kind of funny because how many games in the '90s did the Packers win off special teams fumbles? And then it's only fitting they lose one. What I mean? Like,
One 2014 was another one, because let me tell you, as soon as I saw Dobbs do that, all I could think of was Brandon fucking Bostic.
But I mean, he took his head up just for a second to see how many guys were going to destroy him, and that's all it took. And then, the fans just ripped him apart. It's like, dude, how often do you watch football? Like, that happens a couple times a game. Receiver takes his eye off the ball for a split second to see where he's going with it. And it happens to everyone. I don't care what. I mean, find me a receiver that's never happened to.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and they get lambasted for it by the commentary team, too. That pretty much the very first rule is you catch it before you move.
Every ball catcher at every level of skill and talent does it. Mike Evans has done it. He's one of the best, right?
Oh, yeah. It's what happens. It's what happens when you get sloppy.
Well, it's not. I'm going to have to push back a little bit on that, Ken. I don't think it's just pure sloppiness. Sometimes it's a pure business decision. Like, you got a safety coming over the top and he's about to take your fucking head off and you're not going to be here for the rest of the season. You're like, do I really need to make this catch? I'll be open next time. Like, business decisions get made, dude. Like,
hey, I'm all for business decisions when the game isn't on the line.
Well, and sometimes it's also like, where am I going with it? They don't know where they're going to go with it. They're trying to, in that split second, okay, when I can go left and I'm to the house. And they get a little overexcited. Or, they're looking for where their path is because they don't know and they need to know. So I get it. Or it's overconfidence sometimes. Okay, I got this. I can look now. No, yeah. But it happens at every level of star on the field. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Dobbs, I think, caught too much flack for it from fans because, you put fans out there, I guarantee you 100 out of 100 are probably doing the same thing when they got, 10 guys barreling in on them on that play. I'm sure, I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, it was what it was.
There's a difference between guys on the couch and your hands team, though. Like, your hands team is generally the guys with the best hands on the team.
But it's kind of like I take it back to Cody Parkey's double doink and all the fans. How the hell is he miss a 42-yarder? Well, why don't you try? And then none of them can make a 42-yarder, and they go, "Oh, well, it's not that easy, is it?" Exactly.
Yeah, they can't even doink it.
Yeah, they can't even make it to the upright.
That's what I'm saying. They can't even doink it. Like, it's falling 10 yards short.
Yeah. So I mean, cut Romeo Dobbs a little slack. It's like,
well, he got the double of it because all it did, and Packers fans, was bring up the Bostic shit, and it was this shit again. Really, we're going to lose because somebody couldn't handle an onside kick. That's where he caught a lot of the flack from it.
Oh, I have to bring this up because we've talked about this last week. It's that time of year where players are doing the podcast circuits. That seems to be the only news we get. Everyone's on a podcast lately. You notice that? All these players are on podcasts lately, whether it be Myles Garrett doing a podcast with
Parsons.
Parsons. Well, guess who Caleb Williams just did a podcast with? Max freaking Crosby. They were talking about the Cole Kmet pass in the Rams game, which was an interesting segment that I saw. I just watched it a few minutes ago, where Caleb was like the guy who's hosting. It wasn't Max, but Max was on the show with Caleb, and he's like, "So do you know how far back?" He's like, "No, I'm just drifting back. I just know I need space." And Max had said something, yeah, like anyone's going to catch Caleb anyways, basically to that effect. And all of a sudden, Caleb goes, and then I realized I could see everybody. I'm 50 yards back. I got the best seat in the house. I could see everybody, but I'm 50 yards back. It was great. But yeah, he did a show with Max Crosby, so I wonder how many more trade rumors are going to come off of that one.
Oh, there will be a bunch, just like there is with fucking Green Bay and George Pickens there, because him and Love are buddies. They share the same agent. They play basketball together.
Yeah, I love those rumors. Well, they have the same agent. Okay.
That's the one I give the least amount of credence to. But because they're friends and all that, I'll say maybe. I'm gonna look
Hey,
at it
Joe.
like I looked at with Parsons. You got a small chance with it, and if it happens, hey, awesome.
Hey, Joe,
Like-
the state
it's
of
like the-
Florida is going to sign Ken because I know Ken and we're friends with this on the same show. Therefore, the state of Florida is going to sign him as a resident. I mean,
Yeah.
that's basically what that argument is.
Now we're gonna say that's a huge fucking difference
like-
there.
That's the
It's
argument.
like-
That's the argument. Well,
That's
hey,
It's like
that's
Jordan
fucking
Love-
apples to hand grenades.
It's
they're
like it's like
friends and have the
it's like
same
Jordan
age.
Love, and George Pickens both have a black Nike hat in their closet, so it's
Yeah.
made to be, dude. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
you know,
man,
I mean,
I remember how much
It's not just I'm not just picking on Pickens and Jordan Love, dude. It's
no,
like
in
it's just
general.
the clickbait in general. Like
Yeah.
it literally
Well-
comes down to stuff like that. Like they both bought the same hat at the mall. It's a secret code. Like Pickens to the Packers confirmed.
I get what you're saying there, but
Yeah.
we also heard all last year that the Micah Parsons shit was clickbait and all there's no way that's going to happen, all this and that. You see, crazy shit does happen, and
Well,
with
crazy-
those
no one's
with those
saying
with those
no one's saying
connections,
crazy
I think
shit
it adds a
doesn't
little
happen,
bit
but-
more of a chance.
Dude, it's like today's clickbait was on Jonathan Owens of all people. Jonathan Owens leaves Chicago as the clickbait. It's like, okay, well, he's not signed, whatever. Yeah, you click on the article. He's at the Olympics with his wife. Oh, he's leaving Chicago though. Well, yeah, because he went to the Olympics, dude. Doesn't mean he's not.
Well,
gonna
well, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, he's
if
not.
he
He's no
goes
longer
to-
in the city of Chicago. Like that's
I mean,
dude.
you know, my favorite one. That is my favorite one. Well, you know, this free agent has the same,
Yeah.
agent as so and so on the team. Dude, I don't care unless your agent, you're the only guy they have. Odds are some other big players with your agent. Drew Rosenhaus has all the biggest names in football.
Yeah, he's got
So
probably
if you're a
hundreds of players.
Rosenhaus client, any free agent can be linked to your team because you have the same agent.
And let's just throw it out there. Drew Rosenhaus probably has the best job, dude. Like he's collecting 3% off of every one of those players' contracts to just sit back. You know how many hundreds of millions of dollars Drew Rosenhaus probably has just because of that?
He's at the point in his career now, he doesn't have to negotiate because they just know who he is. So, like, all right, Drew, we know how you do, because he's established himself.
Mhm.
His work is probably not, half as much as it used to be, or maybe even less than that. He just shows up like, all right, we're not going to nickel and dime it. Here it is. Okay, first pass, no go. Second pass is probably a go. Like, these GMs just know you don't fuck with Drew Rosenhaus anymore. It's kind of like, what was his name in baseball? He had all the baseball guys, too. It's like, you just don't mess with him. He's got all the big names, and he knows he can take his clients anywhere and get the deal. So GMs just don't mess with them like they do other agents. Like, he's at that level. That's why you get so many big players, because the contracts go by easy.
Yeah.
And even the outlandish ones go by easy. It's like, okay, well,
But and you're right, Ken, that crazy shit does happen, but the level of clickbait, dude, it's like they contradict themselves in their own article. It's like, dude, you'll see one that says like why Max Crosby is destined to be a Bear, and then like they'll go through like all the potential trade scenarios, and then at the bottom in like 2 sentences they'll say, by the way, it should be mentioned that the Raiders have said they have absolutely no interest in trading Max Crosby. Well, what was the point of this entire article then? Like,
No, my favorite clickbait shit is X star from this team got arrested or died, and it's some guy who barely made the roster that like 3 people know. That's
Mhm.
my favorite fucking clickbait.
I mean, there's
it's like, dude. And we're in clickbait season now, so it's like,
Oh, yeah. I mean, luckily we got the Olympics to kind of like, tame it down a little bit. But I'm looking for clickbait right now. It's all Olympics. Oh, ex-Rams Super Bowl champion announces his retirement. Okay, that one is clickbait. Why they just don't say the name, I don't know why. but-
Because it's clickbait, because it's going to be some guy that was barely on the roster.
Yeah.
mhm.
That's exactly what I was talking about, Ken.
Yeah.
And they reeled
It's the
you in.
equipment manager.
Oh, here we go. ESPN names Packers as top fit for free agent cornerback. Ooh,
For Greg Newsom.
yeah.
Hey, I'd fucking love it.
That'd be a good pickup.
Let me see what the reason is, though, because that's what's going to make it or break it. Let's see here. They don't give a reason, really.
Pretty much that he played damn well last year. We have a need. We have the capital to be able to get him. The only thing that we got to worry about, other than the usual bidding war shit, is if he gets re-signed. I think it was Jacksonville that had him.
You
Yeah,
know,
the clickbait. Some of the clickbait does get a little outrageous, right?
do you find
All
it
right, here's
interesting
one that's not sports, but it's not. It's political. I love this one. Jesse Jackson's son reveals to press what Jesse Jackson said to President Trump. Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm sure he did.
What were
I'm
you saying,
sure.
Joe?
I'm sure as he was on his deathbed, he's like, "Son, as I pass into the afterlife, let me tell you about my conversation I had with the president." Okay, sure.
like his last
Sorry.
words were like, "Fuck Trump."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Come
like
on.
if that's on your mind, bro. If that's on your mind when you're dying, like TBS is real, bro. Like, but
The
no, I
clickbait
was gonna
just-
say like Hafley is the head coach in Miami right now, right?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
do you find it interesting that as soon as Hafley gets in there, all of a sudden Tyreek is shipped out, Bradley Chubb is shipped out, like, you know,
Oh, that was one clickbait I saw.
because
this
Hafley
morning.
is a defensive
Our
coach. Like,
Dolphins-
you would think he'd want to keep any good defensive players you have, but he's like, nah, we'll
He
go ahead and
wants
get
to
rid of
make-
this contract.
Yeah, he
Well-
wants to make this shit in his image.
That's
the
what I
other
mean. It's
clickbait
like,
the other clickbait I saw this morning was Dolphins willing to take $99 million cap hit to cut Tua. That was the other clickbait I saw this morning.
I mean, it
Well, they
wouldn't
didn't say
shock me.
Tua. They said Dolphins willing to take $90 million cap hit to cut quarterback because no one knows that Tua was the quarterback with a big contract in Miami. You know, but
honestly, like, I it's gonna suck for this year and probably next year, but you get that money off your books all of a sudden. If the owner has any patience with Hafley, like realizing, hey, dude, like I have to literally strip this whole thing down and
You
we're
gotta
gonna be
give him
in
3 to
cap
5
hell
years.
for the next 2 years.
yeah, you need to give that man 3 to 5 years with this complete rebuild.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, Joe, what we see is even on a complete rebuild, they tend to give these guys 2 years, maybe 3 if they're lucky.
Yeah,
And the
but I
third
think
one,
this
they're
is
so
different
hot.
circumstances because, like, it's not just a traditional teardown. Like, you're also going to be in cap hell for the next 2 years.
No, look, I agree, but you know what the problem is? Fans don't.
Yeah, they don't have the
don't-
patience.
Yeah, I mean, so like by year 3, his seat is on fire, and the fans are, we need to fire this guy because we're not winning games, and they're like, yeah, because we've been in cap hell for 2 years. We totally just took the team down to basically the concrete floor, even took the studs out. We got to give this guy time now with the people that we're bringing in, the rookies and the young guys, and the fans don't want to hear it. You know, and that's a sad part. Coaches used to get that, Joe, all the time. Now it's like, you get 1 to 2 years. I mean, look at AG. Oh, he needs to be fired because the Jets were terrible. The Jets didn't have a roster, and then they got rid of half all their good players. I mean, yeah, he inherited a mess. It was still a mess. It's still going to be a mess. Leave AG alone.
I actually
Mahomes is
think that-
restructured. Yeah, I saw that.
I actually think the Jets are in a prime position if they can draft even semi well with the number of first round picks that they have in the next 2 years. The Jets could rebuild that whole team.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Wait, I gotta find it. Put it up. We have a jack off. What's up, you jackwagon?
If I'm the Jets this year, I'm just trying to add talent in the draft. Add talent on rookie contracts. Don't worry about the quarterback. We can roll with Fields another year. And then next year, I go get my quarterback with all those first round picks that I got. And I mean, let's be honest. If they have no quarterback, it doesn't really matter how you draft this year. The Jets are going to be a top 10 pick in the draft this year anyway.
Miami has so many needs. They need offensive line. They need a defense. Getting rid of Tyreek Hill doesn't really hurt them. I mean, you still got Waddle. You know, I mean, he's still a good piece for a quarterback to throw to. They have Achan, so they're not completely devoid of offensive talent. But now they've got some money and flexibility. They can go get younger and fill out the roster better than they could have done before. So I mean,
Mhm. The
you know,
unfortunate part for them is that they had to cut those guys rather than trading them so that they could get some sort of draft capital back. Yeah,
I feel sorry.
that's not a
I
bad
feel
thing
sorry.
for the Jets though, because
Mhm.
I feel
you
sorry
have
for
this
Fields.
bevy of first round draft picks. You get a top 3 pick next year. There's your quarterback. You don't even have to waste an extra ammunition. You can add talent around him. Like
I feel sorry
and
for Justin
next
Fields, man.
year,
That guy has so much talent, and he just gets brought
Jeremiah
to us.
Smith is coming out.
I don't feel for Justin Fields because, like Tebow, he refuses to make that position switch that would extend his career.
No, but I mean, like, look at even scheme wise, he just gets Rod. The best deal he had was in Pittsburgh, and he's 4-2, and they bench him.
Uh,
Right? I mean, it's just like, come on, like,
and
I kind of
I
feel
don't like
bad.
that Tebow argument. You know what?
Yeah.
You can say what you want about Tebow's throwing mechanics, but that dude has a playoff win over the Steelers when they were a dominant team.
Joe, you're preaching to the choir here. I think if Peyton Manning doesn't go with the Broncos, that Tim Tebow has a Super Bowl. But that was because of how good that Broncos defense was then.
Yeah, the clickbait. Oh, it's clickbait season. Hey, Joe has the
Honestly,
same
dude,
agent as someone else, therefore that guy's going to sign with Joe. Jeez.
I personally I think Tebow is one of like kind of like the tragedies in the NFL of what ifs because I don't feel like he ever had a coach that really just said, you know what, you're my guy and I'm sticking with you. I think if he would have had that, Tebow was a winner everywhere he went, dude.
I think Rex Grossman's another one of those guys who had a lot of promise coming in the NFL and then got ruined by the NFL. Specifically in the Super Bowl, you literally saw him get ruined in the Super Bowl live on national TV with a head coach that had no offensive skills whatsoever, and an offensive coordinator was kind of blah, and put him in a situation where he was set up for failure.
Mhm.
And he was never able to shake it. He was
Yeah.
never able to shake it after that game.
I
That
liked
game,
Rex coming out of Florida
yeah.
too. Like,
And shit, if we're talking about quarterbacks that got ruined, you got to talk about the glaring bat signal in the sky of David Carr.
Yeah.
you know what? I mean, David Carr gets a lot of shit because of those Houston years, but David Carr coming out of college was probably the most hyped quarterback prospect in the last 40 years, dude. Like he had every tool you could imagine. Like that dude he was guaranteed to be a superstar until he went to Houston. And then they just he got shell shocked, dude. You can't get sacked 75 times a year, you know?
I mean, and look, I mean, it's just.
But
Yeah.
if you thought Derek Carr had arm talent, David Carr had crazy arm talent, dude.
So that's the other thing. Speaking of Derek, wanting to come back, what do you think the odds are he gets an NFL contract?
It wouldn't shock me, especially with the rumors of it being the Jets that he's going for. Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if New Orleans just
Yeah,
gave
but
him away for like a bag of chips.
I don't want Carr to go to the Jets, man. That's just going to be bad for him. He's going to get hurt. You know where I think would be interesting for Carr? Minnesota.
You shut your whore mouth right now.
You put him in Minnesota with Justin Jefferson and Addison, and all of a sudden, dude, they're cooking with something.
Well, we've heard enough from fucking Joe for today, because holy fuck no.
I think Minnesota is a very good candidate. I'm just saying. I think it'd be a good fit. I'd rather see him come be the quarterbacks coach for the Raiders and coach up Mendoza.
I would much rather have that.
I think it'd be hard for him to go back to the Raiders, man. I think it'd be hard. I mean, I agree with you, Joe. But I just think it's just kind of hard after the way they ran him out of town.
You would think, but he's actually him and his brother David have a podcast, and they were specifically talking about it. And he was like,
I
"Dude,
know. But I
he's
mean,
like,
it's
I
just,
would go, I would go be the quarterbacks coach for the Raiders right now. Like he still loves the Raiders, you know. Like I think,
I-
especially
we
with
should get
Derek
Josh
Carr,
McDaniels. That was the issue.
especially with
Yeah.
Derek Carr, like you got to look at the person Derek Carr, and you know he's a Christian. He believes in forgiveness,
look,
man.
the
And
dude,
enough time has passed. I
one
think that it's water under the bridge.
I think he's one of the smartest quarterbacks we've had in the NFL in a long time. I mean, that dude was the only guy on the planet who fully understands John Gruden's offense. Like no one else can figure out John Gruden's offense except for Carr. Like that dude had it on lock.
And Rich Gannon, those two.
I was just about to say that, Joe.
Yeah, Rich Gannon maybe. But I think Carr was smarter than Gannon. So I mean, I just that's an interesting rickroll this offseason though with Carson and want to come back after taking the year off. And I get it. You had a year off. You got your body finally got healed. You're feeling good again. And look at, I mean, let's look at guys who did that. Flacco basically got 90% of a year off, and now he's been back coming off the retirement couch for what, 5 years now. Look at a certain backup quarterback with Carolina. He was going to retire. Then the Bears brought him back to be the starter 6 years later, still in the league. I mean, some of these older quarterbacks, like, okay, I'm done. And then they take a half year or a year off. And next thing you know, they're back for 6, 7, 8 years. And they're playing at that level. It's like they just need that 1 year to get their bodies and minds
Get
healthy.
their body right. You know, honestly, I wouldn't be against the Raiders. Go ahead. I was just going to say, I wouldn't be against the Raiders signing Carr as a backup quarterback and letting him work with Mendoza if he'd be willing to take that, like, you know, come in and you're pretty much a quarterback's coach, but, you know, you're probably going to start the first part of the season because I don't think they want to, if they had the choice of trotting Mendoza out there game one or waiting a little bit, I think they'd rather wait.
That's the problem. And it's not a you problem like you, Joe problem. It's a you, me, Ken problem because you, me, Ken are like, you know what? Get Carr. Now Mendoza doesn't have to get a start to week 5, 6, 7. But the reality is the fan base, like
Your
they want
first overall, your first
they want to
overall
see him
pick
start day
shoehorn.
one.
Yep.
Day one. It does not matter to them. In fact, if you're a quarterback and you're taking the top 10, that fan base wants to see you start day one. They don't care who the backup is. And that's sad because, like, I think you could have a situation where you get Derek Carr, and you're 100% correct, Joe. You let Derek Carr start the first half of the season. Hell, you let him start the whole year if you're doing halfway decent, and you let Mendoza learn for a year and get used to the NFL life and blah, 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 and soak it up and learn from Carr especially. And then in year 2, you make the flip. But unfortunately, the fans are going to want him day one. Because you know what? The second he gets drafted, Vegas is all about one guy and one guy only for the rest of the offseason, for all of the OTAs, for all of mini camps, for all of camp. It's all going to be about one guy and one guy only that you're going to hear about. Mendoza. That's it. Every camp report, Mendoza looked good. Mendoza looked bad. Mendoza's going to be a bust. Mendoza's going to be a star. Mendoza got picked off 25 times in camp today. Mendoza didn't get picked off at all in camp today. That's all you're going to hear.
Yeah, but you know, I'll say this: I know that the Raiders subreddit is only a small portion of Raider Nation, and there are a lot of idiots. But the consensus among the Raiders subreddit is that they actually would prefer for Mendoza to sit for a while because they want to make sure that our offensive line is fixed before they throw him in there. And so there are enough Raider fans in the subreddit at least that have a patient mindset with him. They realize, like, you know, he's walking into a situation where he has some pieces, but there's quite a few pieces that are missing, and we don't really want to jeopardize him early and ruin him. Like, so I don't know how far that spreads out into the rest of Raider Nation. But
once again, though, don't disagree with the subreddit on this one. And you know, Joe, definitely go to your doctor today. Make sure you get an STD check for being on Reddit too much. But I mean, look, probably a lot of guys who watch this show that we see all the time would I mean, look, even Yinzer's like, yeah, he should sit. I'm sure Fred would be like, yeah, he can't be worse than Gino, but if you have Carr, let him sit. I don't think, JB would probably be the same way. Let him sit. Unfortunately, the very vocal, very stupid parts of fan bases, well, you spent the number 1 pick. We got to see him now. And they're so big and they're so vocal, teams cave. Because in the back of the day, the number 1 pick did sit if they were a quarterback for a year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
but
and then the funniest part is those
years,
stupid fans. They'll be calling for Mendoza to go out there, and then he throws a pick on his first play, and they're like, "Oh, he's a fucking bust!" Like, oh my god, like it's like, dude, he threw 1 NFL pass, bro. Like, can we just, can we just pump the brakes? People are so reactionary, dude. Oh, Pittsburgh, I think would be another good fit for Carr.
Yeah, it would.
Because they like to run the ball.
Look at Caleb, man. When Caleb got drafted, there were some Bears fans like, "Oh my God, the guy can't throw this, that, the other." Now, of course, if you look at I've seen 4 or 5 different top 10 offensive passes of the year kind of things. Caleb, in every single list, has 4 to 5 of those throws for the top 10 of the year, the entire NFL. But after his rookie year, very early on, there were Bears fans. Oh, we should never have taken him. And hell, even Woody was like, "Oh, we should have taken Jaden Daniels. We should have taken Jaden Daniels." Oh, Drake May. Oh, Bo Nix. It was everyone but Caleb. And now, you're going to be a little more hard pressed to find people in Chicago who are like that. But believe it or not, there are still guys who want Justin Fields to be the starter. So it's like, fan bases.
Those guys need to stop huffing paint, dude.
They do. Look,
Like,
if you can't figure out
that deep ball that he threw to that deep ball that he threw to DJ Moore to beat the Packers in overtime, dude, that was a fucking dime, bro. He put that shit on the money, 50 yards down the field, right on the money.
The Kmet touchdown against the Rams was just as much. I mean, if people not figured out that Caleb Williams, sorry, John Dorn, if they haven't figured out that he's legit, right? I mean, they have a legit quarterback in Chicago now. But
that Kmet one doesn't stick out to me as much as that DJ Moore one, though. That DJ Moore one was the dagger, bro.
Dude, that was a dagger to Kmet, and he was just as far back.
Yeah, but that DJ Moore one, like, I don't know. I'm not saying the Kmet one wasn't good. I'm just saying, like, for me, that one doesn't stick out as much as that DJ Moore one. Because when that DJ Moore one was in the air, I was already like, that's game, dude. That's game over. You could just tell from the trajectory it was going right into his hands, dude.
Joe, you know why? Because you saw the DJ Moore pass. That's why when the Kmet pass happened, you're like, yeah, he just did it again, whatever.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, I mean, because it was just as impressive.
But I bet if you ask Ken right now, when that ball was in the air, you knew it was game, didn't you?
Yep.
Because that Kmet pass, when that ball is in the air, you're like, we just tied this game.
Yeah. Same thing with that DJ Moore. It's like as soon as that ball was in the air, you're like, oh, that's game.
But that was part of it. You had just seen the DJ Moore pass, so it took a little of the luster off of the Kmet pass. Because like, oh, he just did that. Whatever. Let's see the Iceman. Okay. But I mean, going back to this thing with Mendoza, it's the same thing. It's number 1 pick. He's got to play right away. No, he doesn't. I mean, look, if Caleb didn't play right away, I would have been upset. But I mean, unfortunately, though, Caleb is now the reason why you do play right away. Because as Caleb progressed to where he is, if he didn't play all that first season and go through all that suffering, no, probably not. But on the flip, if he didn't play all that time in season 1 and was on the bench learning, I don't know. Maybe he is just as good. I mean, it's kind of like, do you rest your players in week 18 or do you play all your starters for the full game if you're a playoff team? Mm-hmm. It's that personal choice kind of thing. And I don't know if you could really say there's enough anecdotal evidence one way or the other to support it for the number 1 pick. Now, look, for the guy, the 3rd or 4th quarterback pick, I think you could find a lot more anecdotal evidence, right? But like Penix, the only reason, and they were doing it right with Penix. He wasn't going to see the field except Cousins got hurt, and then he had to see the field.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think they made a mistake running him out there as the starter last year. But I mean, It's going to be Mendoza. I mean, so if Carr goes there, yeah, you have to accept that he's basically being hired as a player quarterback coach.
Yeah, and I don't know, like, I don't know if he'll want that. Like, I think if he was going to be the actual quarterbacks coach, then it's a coaching position. But he wants to play. Like, he wants a chance to
They
be the
all
guy.
want to play. They all want to play. They all want
I don't want to see him go to the Jets, man. Like, not right now, at least. Like, let the Jets see what they do with the draft, all those draft picks over the next 2 years. Then, if you want to go to the Jets, go to a loaded team. Like, don't go sit in the fire right now, bro. Like, you're just coming off a shoulder injury. You're gonna be right back on the couch. Like,
if you're the Dolphins and you cut to a signed Carr,
that would be another option. Like, Carr is a smart quarterback. The thing is, though, is you have to have an offensive line because he gets happy feet when he's under pressure, man. Like, he starts.
I mean, look, it looks like they're going to go with Malik Willis, which I feel sorry for Malik Willis because now he gets to be another backers quarterback who goes get starter money and then sucks. Because that team is going to suck.
I would pray that's what happens, because then, like Matt Flynn, he can come back and be the backup all over again. We got you paid, and you get to be a good backup for us. Fuck, sign me up.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's necessarily the case with Willis. I think Willis has learned enough and he's progressed enough that he might actually be a serviceable starter.
Joe, I'm with you on that, and a lot of these pundits are pretty much saying he is the darling of this free agent class, that he's pretty much going to have.
Well, he's a darling
by the balls.
He's the darling only because he's cheaper than Mac Jones.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that think he has a fuck ton of upside.
I think Mac Jones is a better quarterback than Malik Willis overall, but and his price tag reflects that. But I mean, I think the darling thing though is a good quantifier because money wise, he's probably going to cost you half of Mac Jones.
I bet
production will be right there. So, I'm just saying. For me, Mac Jones is a better quarterback. I'm not saying by hot that he's like light years ahead of Malik Willis, but the price tag is light years ahead of Malik Willis. So that makes Malik Willis more of the darling of it, so to speak, because you're going to get a good quality quarterback at a lot cheaper price than what you're going to pay for a guy like Mac Jones.
I bet you Malik Willis gets a hell of a lot higher contract than Mac Jones does this offseason from everything I'm hearing. It seems like there might be a bit of a bidding war with Malik Willis. Now, granted, I'd love for there not to be, and I'd love for you to be right that Mac Jones is the better one, and all the other teams see that. So he comes and stays in Green Bay. But unfortunately, from what I'm hearing, I think he's going to be that guy this year.
I actually think that Malik Willis will end up with a middle of the road, like sort of like a Sam Darnold contract with the Seahawks, like $30 million a year. And I think Mac Jones might have played himself into a larger contract than that. Maybe not 55, but somewhere in the $40 million range.
Yeah, he's projecting the 40s, 44 million or so.
Yeah, I think Mac Jones earned himself. He's probably going to get a big contract. And the thing is, like, it would be funny if he turns back into a pumpkin wherever he goes. Like, because, but that's the thing is, the quarterbacks that you have the Sam Darnold precedent, and now you have Mac Jones, right? Like San Francisco has done it twice, where they take a cast-off quarterback, he comes in there, spends a year or two with them, and all of a sudden he goes off and plays crazy good.
Do nothing with Trey Lance. I'm saying.
Well, then what does that tell you about Trey Lance? Like, if they couldn't make you a quarterback, then nobody can.
I'll tell you what that tells you about Trey Lance. To Nick's major chagrin, that Trey Lance sucks as a quarterback.
When was the last time? Hey, I was thinking as I invoked his name. When was the last time you heard Trey Lance's name even mentioned?
I have, because there's talk that he could possibly be the backup in Green Bay.
Oh, I like that. That's turnover.
Hey, if we can fix him anywhere near like we did with Malik Willis, I'll be happy. I'm not expecting the same results, but if we get something like it, cool.
See, I think $40 million is cheap. I think Malik can end up getting a 2 year, $60 million. Maybe it's not, all guaranteed, probably $40 million guaranteed, but then you'll have incentives and bonuses and stuff.
go to the Jets.
Well, I think Malik Willis at this point has more upside.
But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like Justin Fields got 2 years, $40 million, right? That seems I can see Malik getting something like that, like what Yinzer said. That makes sense. I mean, he might have a little more upside, but Justin Fields has a lot of upside too, like legs and everything else. It didn't materialize for the Jets because they were just god awful. But look at look at. I know we all get that little stain in our mouths with Fields' name, but let's not forget he was 4-2 in Pittsburgh and still had good numbers. So I mean,
Yeah, yes, but let me ask Yinzer, because I heard from a lot of fans that he was 4-2 with Pittsburgh, pretty much in spite of him. That he wasn't the reason why that they were 4-2. That it was that defense.
see, I agree with you on that. I said that last year. You guys remember when he signed with the Jets?
Mhm.
Like he should have gone to Miami. It's more his style.
Mhm.
I know a lot of Steeler fans that to this day are still mad that they went with Rodgers and didn't keep Fields.
I mean, I don't know. I think Carr would be a good fit in Pittsburgh. I also
I do
think
too,
Miami
but
would be a good fit,
But
but
now with
anywhere but the Jets.
But now with the old fat man, Lazy Bones as their coach, a lot of people think that he was brought there to, keep Rodgers staying for another year or two.
Man, could you imagine Kevin O'Connell though with Carr?
I mean, this doesn't shock me in any way, shape, or form.
What is it with Kansas City and beating up your wives, dude? Like,
Yep.
it's Tyreek, it's Rashee Rice, it's dude.
That's exactly why I said this doesn't shock me in any way, shape, or form.
I know
Well,
one guy who won't be doing that. I know one guy won't be doing that with his wife, Kelsey, because he, of their 1.7 billion, she's 1.6 of it.
Yeah, dude, but it's not that hard to not beat your wife. Like, I've been married 13 years. Like, you think I never wanted to smack her around? But no, you just don't do it. It's just not. Come on, man.
And, yeah, I don't know about if that's a guarantee or not, JB, but Fields went to Miami. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Fields would have been so much better there too.
Kareem Hunt too, man. It's like it's in the water in Kansas City, dude. They got the Ike Turner in the water.
Yeah, I like
Oh,
Fields.
dude.
I think Fields has a lot of upside. He's definitely an exciting, dynamic player who just gets the worst offensive line protection. I swear. I mean, the dude can make the game exciting, but he's never really got a chance to be a quarterback. He's always had to be a save my life by running kind of guy.
Did you see that JB said big wheels keep on turning?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Taylor, as much as she has crafted this all-American girl persona, it wouldn't surprise me if she has a dark side, and I would almost bet money in their private life, she probably walks Travis around on a leash in the house, dude.
Joe, I would almost damn near guarantee it.
She's getting blowback right now because one of her songs is basically a love song to Travis, and all her fans are like, "Oh my God, you're so cis, trad, blah blah blah." All these little keywords they use. She's actually catching a lot of flack right now for.
These wives keep on hurting.
You know why? Because she sold for like 10, 15 years. Oh, you don't need no man. Men are worthless. It's you. And now it's, oh, well, this man's super amazing. Wait, everything you just told us, it seems like it was a complete and utter lie. I can see why they're pissed.
Yinzer, you're not wrong, man.
Yeah, 100%. Taylor pegs Kelsey, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
1,000%.
Hell, she could just buy her husband's team. Oh, you don't like the ownership? I'll just buy it.
Yeah.
I think he does 1 year. I think this is Kelsey's last year and he retires.
I hope so.
You want to see the vision anymore. I think he retires. But
I'm just tired of seeing Taylor Swift at the games.
Look at both. Well, I mean, she's now a football fan. I think we'll still see her at games. I think you will still see her and Trav going to games. I mean, it's kind of like Jason. He left the game, but he didn't leave the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like show them once, like, oh hey, Taylor Swift is here,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then that's it. We don't have to go up to her every time they score a touchdown, every time they kick a field goal.
They don't do it as much anymore. Yeah, the novelty's kind of wearing off.
I don't
Fields
think
is a
wide
wide
receiver. I think
receiver.
running. No, I think running back. I think he'd be a
Yeah.
damn good running back.
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't really have the body for the wide receiver as much as he does running back. But tight end maybe. But I mean, wide receiver. But look, that's the thing about Fields, man. There's so much potential with that guy. It's like no one's really been able to unlock his potential because
Terrell Pryor
the offense
2.0.
usually sucks. Yeah, the offense just usually sucks. Like he's the it's like he has no offensive line, or the running game is terrible behind him, or he doesn't have the receiving core normally, or tight ends, or he's always missing so much. And when he was with the Steelers, he was 4-2, and he made some great throws. He had some nice runs too. I mean, it's that's a guy who had so much potential and just got ruined by the other.
But
I think you mean scraping the meat off the chicken
blame the
bone.
lack of things. We can't just blame the lack of things for Fields' lack of success. You got to be honest. Fields' short game. Fields, I don't disagree, but I think a bigger part is Fields' short game is absolutely trash. Like if he could throw a short ball, he would be a great NFL quarterback. His deep ball is beautiful.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But Joe, he never had the opportunity to develop that, to get better at that. He hasn't been afforded that opportunity to improve his game at that level. He's improved his game in a lot of different areas, but that level, you're 100% correct. He just never got the situation where he was able to.
Is it that he never got the situation for it, or is that just not part of his game?
I know. I think it's a situation because even with Pittsburgh, he didn't have the scheme and receiving core to do that with.
And unfortunately for him, the NFL is right now it's a short game league.
That's it right there. And he got screwed by that. And yeah. So some of these things like reading defense is better, short game. I mean, here's what Justin Fields saw when he saw a defense. I'm about to get crushed because I have no offensive line. That's the only thing he knows on how to read on a defense these days. Is where are my escape routes because I have no offensive line.
Yeah, and then they dropped him for Russ. And it makes me wonder because Russ, I think, is a free agent this year, right? Like, where's Russ going to go? Is he going to go anywhere? Is there anybody that's going to take him on?
CBS.
The Jets, maybe?
Oh. Wouldn't it be hilarious if Justin Fields gets supplanted by Russell Wilson yet again?
Oh, on the Jets?
Yep.
And then Russ proceeds to be terrible, like everywhere else.
Yeah, that's another one, Fred. I agree there too. I think Fields would be perfect behind Lamar. And God, you could do some trick plays with the two of them too. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of screw.
Baltimore, actually, you could do it. Would almost be worth signing him just because of those trick plays you could do. Like you could have. Can you imagine Fields throwing Lamar a deep ball, having Lamar go deep, and Fields throwing it to him? You could do that.
There's so many things you could do with that tandem. It's sick. I don't know. More stuff to talk about tomorrow. We'll see what kind of clickbait we get because we all know Jonathan Owens is leaving Chicago to go to Milan.
Even if he signs with another team, who cares?
No, he's been a good player in Chicago, but we all know he left Chicago because he's at the Olympics. That was the clickbait for today. But now we're going to see the clickbait tomorrow. Caleb does show with Max. Max coming to Chicago because they did a podcast together. That's your link. Oh, I tell you, gotta love that.
Oh yeah, it'll happen. You'll see that tomorrow.
We'll see some more. We're gonna look. We already saw a restructure with Mahomes. We didn't really talk about that much today. We'll see some more, but maybe we can dig into that tomorrow. What that means for the Chiefs? They save like a lot of money with that. I think we're getting point. We're seeing that there's some rumors about DJ Moore maybe being restructured as well. There's more trade rumors on him, so maybe we can dig into some of that tomorrow. Don't forget today being Wednesday, MMA show at 2 p.m. Central. We got JB's roundtable tonight. JB's on after us. Will there be a house all tonight? Stay tuned. We'll find out at 7 p.m. Until then, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.